What's up, guys? Welcome to Soccer Card Show Off Episode 2. Today, we're going to take a trip back in time to 2003, to simpler days, but more importantly, to Serie A, where I fell in love with soccer. I used to love watching Serie A at that time. That is the Serie A I always associate in my memories. The players of that era are the players that are the most familiar to me, that I consider legendary, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some cards I have from that year. I'll show them off. If I have a story about them, I'll tell you. I'll sleeve them as well because I've been neglecting them. So let's start off with Julio, Ricardo, Cruz. This is actually, he was on Bologna this year. This is very likely the last year before he transferred to Inter. He never was like a true star at Inter. He was kind of like a super sub type of player. Yeah, he probably had a couple 10-goal seasons, but for me, it's funny, Inter at that time, I know they had Obafemi Martins, they had Julio Ricardo Cruz, they had Alvaro Recoba, they had all these super sub attackers, you know what I mean? I don't know if they had they would have had Vieri at some point during that period as well. Obviously, before that they had Ronaldo R9, but yeah, he was a super sub of sorts, definitely scored some goals, definitely had a couple of good years, and yeah, that's Julio Ricardo Cruz. Okay, we stay in South America. This guy's a legend. He's on the newest FIFA game as a hero. Ivan Ramiro, Cordoba. Okay? Center back. I'm not sure how clearly it's going to show here. Let's see if we can get that more clear. There we go. All right. This guy played a lot of games for Inter. Not as many as Javier Zanetti, but great center back. I probably had over 100 claps for Colombia, I think. But I remember this guy. Shorter guy, Cannavaro type guy, good in the air, quick. But this guy's a Serie A legend, without doubt. This card I don't care about. Then we got Moro, Camoranesi. I really want to figure out the right distance to show so they come out clear. I swear it's annoying, guys. Huh. All right. I'll just hold it up for a bit. All right, guys. Moro Camoranesi played for Italy, Argentinian by birth. Would never sing the Italian national anthem for that reason, I think. I think that was his reason, which is fair, totally fair. And this guy, just a hard-working player. You know what I mean? Just a true hard-working player. I don't think he was the most talented, but I'll never forget this guy. Serie A legend, Juventus legend as far as I'm concerned as well. All right, next we got another similar type of player, like a hard worker, not flashy, but had a great career. This is Simone Parata, okay? This is him on Chievo Verona, but he transferred to Roma after that. This was the time when I think Chievo was Chievo was the equivalent of Atalanta, like how Atalanta's overperforming. During this period, Chievo was overperforming as well. And I apologize there we go, beautiful. Yeah, those Chievo kits are beautiful as well. There we go, guys. Simone Parata, another hard-working winger. Not like a Lorenzo Insigne, more like I don't know what equivalent. Andrea Andreeva, maybe, kind of like that. Don't roast me if that's way off, by the way. We got Oliver Bierhoff. This guy scored a lot of goals. He's one of the top goal scorers in Serie A history. I don't actually remember him that well. He might have been. He was definitely at the tail end of his career at this point, as far as I can recall. He may not have been a regular starter. Sergio Policia, I think, was starting for Chievo at this time. But, yeah, this guy was one of the top goal scorers in Serie A history, probably in the top 50, top 100. Definitely a German legend. Another guy who's a coach now, who I remember fondly, is Eugenio Corrini. Classic, hard-working, box-to-box midfielder. Went on to play for Palermo as well. But yeah, he's I remember this guy. He's a coach now. Who does he coach? Don't ask me. I can't remember. But I always remember because he had a bald head and it was super shiny and well-shaved every match. I remember him mostly for Palermo, but obviously he played at Chievo before then. So I think he probably got a cap for Italy, maybe one as well. We got Luigi Dibiagio. Okay, this guy scored a header for Italy at the World Cup, I remember. He's a gritty CDM as far as I recall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't recall watching too many of his games in Serie A. It's probably the 2004 season when I really got into it. Maybe the season just after this. but alas. Another hard-working Italian midfielder here, Stefano Fiori. Okay, Lazio player. He's number 9, but I'm pretty sure I remember him as a midfielder, probably an attacking midfielder. Definitely got some Italy caps as well. Again, not a superstar, not like a Del Piero level, but he's like a Peratta, Camoranesi level player, as far as I recall. Francesco Coco for Inter. I think he went on to play for Livorno after. But Coco is one of those guys. I remember he had a head wrap at the World Cup. You guys might remember that. But Francesco Coco, fun fact, he came out of the same academy as Gianluca Zambrotta. Not quite as good as Zambrotta, but definitely a legit player. You know, Serie A, he's a Serie A legend to me as far as I'm concerned. So, whatever. All right, we got some more Lazio players here. Who do we start with? Let's start with Claudio Lopez. This guy is like, you know, I mean, he's probably like, he's like the equivalent of you know, Joaquin Correa. Like a solid player, talented, played quite a few seasons for Lazio. Not like elite, but like a solid attacking player. And I definitely remember him. He was a fixture in the Lazio squad. Okay, that takes us to another player who I remember fondly, who definitely got caps for Italy as a striker. Mid-level striker, you know, not an elite striker, but definitely had a couple of 10-goal seasons. Bernardo Karate. And you know what? Damn good-looking guy as well. So there we go. You guys might remember Corradi. Played a few games for Italy. Was mainly a Lazio player. I can't remember where he went after. I'm sorry about the focusing on this, guys. I'm going to have to... It's easier at home. I'm at the office right now. Okay. Bernardo Corradi. Here's a guy I remember. This is him on Inter, but he actually was a Parma player initially, or he ended up at Parma because he never really made it at Inter. This guy was like, the commentators would always roast him for not fulfilling his potential. Domenico Morfeo. Okay, he's a kind of an attacking midfielder, a cam type of player. He never made it at a top club, but he settled in nicely at Parma, I believe, if I recall correctly, and he was a decent player for them. Angelo Perutz, Lazio keeper, also played for Juventus. This guy had got quite a few caps for Italy. His modern equivalent is probably Salvatore Sirigu, okay? Although Sirigu went on to play for PSG, which was kind of a big deal as well. This guy is like, I think Buffon probably kicked him out of Juventus, and he's like a mid-level goalie, right? He's probably historically one of the top cap earners in Serie A, to be honest, because goalkeepers, you know, that's how it is. But yeah, Peruzzi, I definitely remember him. I got Roberto Mancini at World Cup '94. I don't think he actually stepped on the pitch at this World Cup, but this is the card from that set. And I don't remember Mancini playing ever for Serie A. He was already coaching at that time, and I believe he was coaching Lazio when I was growing up. So, all right, we got a player I really like, who is a solid player and underrated. We got Marco Di Vaio, okay? He scored 20 goals at Parma before Juventus bought him. I don't think he ever became a Juventus legend. My memory is a bit blurry. He moved on after this to somewhere else, I think, maybe to Roma. So, damn, I pride myself on a good memory, but I can't remember. But what I do know is he's definitely in the top 50, if not top 100 goal scorers of Serie A of all time. So he's a legit player, and he's wearing the original Vapors. I don't know if you guys can tell, the original Nike Vapors, which is my favorite shoe of all time, the ones that Ronaldo R9 wore. They don't make them like they used to. Like, they all this crap on them now. I wish they would just make these old ones one check on each side in pure solid colors. Okay, this guy is probably pretty disrespected. Okay, Giuseppe Seniority, okay? He's playing for Bologna in this photo. This guy is one of those guys, like, he's just like a pure striker. You know what I mean? Like, he has scored, I believe, 188 goals in Serie A, the same amount of goals as Gilardino, which is in the top 20 goal scorers in Serie A history, which is really impressive, to be perfectly honest. But he'll go down like Gilardino. I always remember Gilardino at Parma, and I remember specifically, I mean, he scored some nice goals in his career. I remember specifically against when Parma lost to Roma, and Parma had some really great players. They had Adriano and they had Adrian Mutu. You know, who went on to have some fun and games with drugs. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Giuseppe Senora is kind of like a Gilardino. He's probably never high elite, but he scored a lot of goals and he had a long career. And he I don't think he got that many caps for Italy, but there you go. And yeah, I also have some World Cup '94 cards. Player coaches Dunga. I apologize, it's blurry as heck. And then I got Luis Enrique. But yeah, guys, that's another set of my Serie A cards. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And there's more to come because I got a ton of cards. All right, see ya.